When the Allies launched Operation Husky on the night of July 9-10, 1943, it marked the beginning of the Italian campaign and the first major assault on Axis-held Europe. While the operation was a combined British-American effort, this post focuses on the American side of the invasion, highlighting the roles of the airborne troops, Ranger battalions, and regular infantry forces in the bitter and complex battle for Sicily. In the summer of 1943, the Allies launched Operation Husky, a bold amphibious and airborne assault to invade Sicily, the strategic gateway to Italy. The objective was to open a new front, knock Italy out of the war, and divert German forces. The massive plan involved two major forces landing simultaneously on Sicily's southern coast, requiring complex coordination and immense bravery. On the western flank, the U.S. 7th Army, led by General George S. Patton, landed between Licata and Gela. The 3rd and 45th Infantry Divisions, alongside elite U.S. Rangers and the 82nd Airborne Division, advanced inland. Airborne troops parachuted behind enemy lines to disrupt Axis defenses, aiming to quickly seize critical airfields and ports for the Allies' strategic advantage. To the east, the British 8th Army, led by General Montgomery, landed near Syracuse and Pacino. They advanced up the southeastern coast, aiming for Augusta and Catania, supported by naval gunfire, airstrikes, paratroopers, and gliders. Their mission was to swiftly capture Sicily, defeat Axis forces, and secure a base for the invasion of mainland Italy. Operation Mincemeat was one of the most audacious and successful deception operations of World War II. In 1943, British intelligence orchestrated a plan to mislead Nazi Germany into believing that the Allies would invade Greece and Sardinia instead of their true target, Sicily, ensuring surprise and strategic advantage. To deceive German intelligence, British operatives dressed a dead body as Major William Martin, a Royal Marine. They attached a briefcase with fake documents suggesting an Allied invasion through Greece. Released off Spain's coast, the body washed ashore where German spies would find it, spreading misinformation and aiding the Allied strategy. German intelligence took the bait. The forged documents ascended the command chain, reaching Hitler himself, who redirected reinforcements to Greece and the Balkans. Consequently, when Operation Husky launched on July 10, 1943, the weakened German defenses on Sicily facilitated the Allies' swift progress. Operation Mincemeat, a masterclass in wartime deception, played a crucial role in the Mediterranean campaign. By misleading the Axis powers about the Allies' invasion plans, it hastened the collapse of Axis control in Italy, significantly contributing to the Allied success and altering the course of the war. The American airborne assault during Operation Husky was the first large-scale combat jump in U.S. history. Paratroopers of the 82nd Airborne Division, particularly the 504th and 505th Parachute Infantry Regiments, were tasked with seizing key road junctions, bridges, and terrain inland from the beaches to block Axis reinforcements. But almost everything went wrong. Despite harrowing challenges, paratroopers scattered across Sicily displayed remarkable resilience. Those who landed far from their objectives banded together, launching guerrilla attacks that sabotaged Axis supply lines, communications, and transportation, significantly hampering enemy coordination and aiding the overall Allied invasion success. On July 11, 1943, a second airborne operation was launched to reinforce the beachhead. But miscommunication and heightened tension led to disaster, as American C-47 transport planes carrying paratroopers of the 504th Pyre approached the Sicilian coast. U.S. Navy ships and ground forces, on edge after several Axis air raids, mistook them for enemy aircraft. The result was one of the worst friendly fire incidents of the war. 23 planes were shot down and over 300 American paratroopers were killed or wounded. Before the fierce battles at Beazzo Ridge, Allied paratroopers descended into chaos during Operation Husky. Despite scattered drops and friendly fire, these brave soldiers quickly regrouped, displaying remarkable resilience and forging the path for future airborne successes. Still, the survivors carried on. In places like Beazzo Ridge, outnumbered and outgunned paratroopers held off German counterattacks long enough for reinforcements to arrive. Though Husky's airborne operation was plagued by misfortune, the courage and adaptability of the 82nd Airborne set a precedent for future missions in Normandy and beyond. While paratroopers fought inland, the 1st and 4th Ranger Battalions under Colonel William O. Darby spearheaded the seaborne assault at Gela on July 10. Their mission was to secure beach exits and capture the town. Storming ashore before dawn, the Rangers launched a surprise assault, swiftly seizing their objectives and opening the way for advancing Allied forces. However, the real test came when German Hermann Göring Division armor counterattacked in force. The Rangers, lightly armed and vastly outgunned, dug in and repelled tanks using bazookas, mines, and artillery spotting for offshore naval gunfire. It was in Gela that U.S. Rangers, infantry, and destroyers fought in tandem to halt multiple German armored thrusts aimed at driving the Americans back into the sea. The Rangers' aggressive posture and tactical flexibility not only saved the beachhead, but demonstrated the crucial role of specialized, fast-moving infantry in amphibious warfare. Their tenacity at Gela forged a fierce reputation that propelled them across Europe, changing the face of infantry tactics and inspiring future special operations forces. The U.S. 7th Army, led by General George S. Patton, took charge of the western half of Sicily. After landing at Gela, Licata, and Scogliti, American Infantry Divisions, the 1st Infantry Division, the Big Red One, the 3rd, and the 45th, began a grueling push inland, facing fierce resistance as they advanced, determined to secure the island. Combat was intense and complicated by the mountainous terrain, scorching heat, and tenacious German rearguard actions. The town of Trowina became the centerpiece of some of the hardest fighting for the 1st Division, as German and Italian defenders turned every hilltop and ridge into a fortress, challenging the Allies at every turn. Meanwhile, the 3rd Infantry Division pushed forward toward Palermo, liberating the city by July 22. Patton's bold decision to capture Palermo ahead of schedule secured vital supply lines, delivering a major blow to Axis forces. Though his move invited British criticism, it ultimately earned praise for its strategic impact on the campaign's momentum. By August, American forces advancing towards Messina faced strong resistance from retreating German units aiming to cross into mainland Italy. A tense race unfolded between Patton's Americans and Montgomery's British 8th Army to capture Messina. Although the Germans managed to escape, the Allies declared Sicily theirs on August 17, 1943, marking the campaign's successful conclusion. Operation Husky marked a pivotal moment in World War II. This successful Allied invasion of Sicily led to the downfall of Mussolini, secured the Mediterranean for Allied shipping, and offered vital lessons in joint amphibious and airborne operations, setting the stage for future campaigns in Europe. For the Americans, the campaign showcased the courage of raw airborne troops, the daring of elite Rangers, and the resilience of infantry divisions fighting in brutal terrain against a determined enemy. These experiences would shape American strategy in the Italian mainland and beyond.